Hello everybody, David Shuster here. A MAGA civil war has erupted, and the fight between Elon Musk and Donald Trump is getting nastier. This is the final straw, Musk wrote on X. He's referring to this.
Investigators say they found no incriminating client list of Epstein's, no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals, and no evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties.
As the Mediaite headline says, no one believes this. MAGA heavyweights flatly reject Trump DOJ's claims that there was no Epstein client list. Chad Prather, a conservative influencer invited to the White House in February and handed a binder of information about the Epstein case with promises there would be more, lashed out on X. Where is the Epstein info the American people were promised? You handed us a notebook and promised more was on the way. You told us it existed and now you say it doesn't? America deserves answers. The Attorney General herself, Pam Bondi, told Fox News a few months ago that an Epstein client list would be released.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Okay.
Now, Bondi's Justice Department is claiming there were more than 1,000 Jeffrey Epstein victims, including young women who were raped. So the Trump administration's refusal to release more files on an alleged client list has Elon Musk claiming it's a Trump cover-up and slamming the effort. He wrote on X, above the official Jeffrey Epstein pedophile arrest counter, "What's the time? Oh, look, it's no one has been arrested o'clock again." And in response to conservative Jack Posobiec writing, if there were no clients, why is Ghislaine Maxwell still in jail? Musk posted a chin-scratching emoji. Over the weekend, Elon Musk announced he's launching a third U.S. political party following the rift with Trump over the tax and spending bill. But it's the Musk accusations that Donald Trump is trying to whitewash the Jeffrey Epstein case that could damage Donald Trump the most, because it raises more questions about the Epstein allegations on top of the horrific accusations about Trump that have already emerged. A few weeks ago, Elon Musk was blunt.
While feuding with President Trump, Elon Musk posting, "Time to drop the really big bomb. At real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, Donald J. Trump."
Elon Musk has never elaborated, but the irony in the Trump-Musk war over Epstein is that people following the Epstein case already knew that Donald Trump is in the files. Epstein grand jury documents released in 2024 that were previously confidential show Donald Trump's name all over the Epstein call logs. And that's just the start, as a few Democrats last year pointed out.
Like Donald Trump's sort of all over this, right? There are pictures of him with Jeffrey Epstein. He's taken multiple plane flights with Epstein with young girls on board. He is on call logs with Epstein. One of the highest trending hashtags on Twitter right now is about Trump and Epstein. I'm not going to repeat the hashtag because we're in a dignified setting.
The hashtag is Trump pedophiles. Many of the posts screen grab documents from a lawsuit that accused Trump of raping a 13-year-old girl.
But yeah, y'all might want to look at that because that's highly disturbing. And again, it shows that Donald Trump is unfit for office. And by the way, he was convicted in a civilian court for sexual assault, convicted in a separate court of 34 felonies.
Most congressional lawmakers and members of the mainstream media have been unwilling to bring up the Trump-Epstein documents. Trump has denied the rape allegations. Katie Johnson dropped the lawsuit just before the 2016 election, and the mere mention of the accusations are reportedly so enraging to Trump, the Trump associates say anybody who brings them up will face unprecedented revenge. But the fear of retribution has not stopped a growing number of internet sleuths from piecing together the Trump-Epstein connections.
They lived within walking distance of each other in Manhattan. They partied together. Trump flew on Epstein's planes. Epstein buys a house literally within walking distance, shorter than the distance I walked to school as a kid from Trump. How many kids, not even women, how many kids do you think, and I want you to put it in the comments, Trump and Epstein raped?
All of you MAGA Christians, go Google Trump and Katie Johnson. The original assault occurred in 1994. You've got to read a little bit about it.
The Johnson lawsuit, item 12, reads this way. On the fourth and final encounter with defendant Donald J. Trump, the plaintiff, Katie Johnson, was tied to a bed by defendant Trump, who then proceeded to forcibly rape plaintiff Johnson. During the course of this savage sexual attack, plaintiff Johnson loudly pleaded with defendant Trump to please wear a condom. Defendant Trump responded by violently striking plaintiff Johnson in the face with his open hand and screaming that he would do whatever he wanted as he refused to wear protection. After achieving sexual orgasm, the defendant, Donald J. Trump, put his suit back on, and when the plaintiff, Katie Johnson, in tears, asked defendant Trump what would happen if he had impregnated her, defendant Trump grabbed his wallet and threw some money at her and screamed that she should use the money to get a f***ing abortion. Katie Johnson dismissed her lawsuit in 2016 without providing an explanation, but one of her attorneys, Lisa Bloom, said that Johnson had received threats and was afraid. As for Donald Trump, his lawyer in this matter, Alan Garten, dismissed the allegations as categorically untrue, saying the lawsuit was completely frivolous and baseless. The lawsuit documents are separate from the Jeffrey Epstein grand jury materials released in Florida and separate from other grand jury materials still under seal at the Department of Justice. But any mention of the Trump-Epstein connections prompts a lot of people to take a closer look at the Katie Johnson accusations. And now, with the U.S. Justice Department claiming there was no Jeffrey Epstein client list, and the DOJ refusing to release documents it pledged to make public previously, the accusations of a cover-up are gaining steam. And Elon Musk is pouring the proverbial gasoline on the fire by making his high-profile claims that the Trump administration is simply trying to protect Donald Trump. The anger in MAGA world also stems from indications that several high-profile Democrats may have also been connected to Jeffrey Epstein. And many MAGA influencers were convinced that the Trump Justice Department, if it released all the Epstein files, would somehow be able to prove that certain Democrats were involved in sex trafficking. And that's been a cornerstone of MAGA conspiracy theories, including in the world of QAnon. But in the Trump Justice Department concluding there is no evidence that would predicate any investigation of uncharged third parties, the QAnon conspiracy falls apart. And the assertions from Trump critics about the president himself also now hit an FBI and DOJ wall. Still, Elon Musk is convinced this is all about political convenience for both major parties. When a user named Steve wrote on X, I think if there were any evidence either side could use against the other, it would be plastered all over everything, to which Musk replied, unless both sides were guilty. Are there guilty people who were Epstein clients and are now being protected by the Trump Justice Department? Is the Trump administration trying to protect the president himself, as Elon Musk insists? Well, even for the MAGA conservatives who do not support Elon Musk, there is disappointment. Publicly released documents from the Jeffrey Epstein grand jury and public statements from Attorney General Pam Bondi herself triggered great expectations that the full truth about Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking allegations would finally be revealed. Instead, a lot of folks across the political spectrum now believe the Trump administration is engaged in a cover-up, and Elon Musk is fanning the flames and intensifying the MAGA world divisions. By the way, the Trump administration's Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, or ICE, has now been slapped with a $1 million lawsuit for assaulting a U.S. citizen who filmed an ICE raid.
No les abra! Yo, are you serious, bro?
In Los Angeles, that's the voice of Joe Garcia, the man filming the ICE agents. And now they've thrown him to the ground.
You want to go to jail? Fine. You got it.
The pressure of like the knee on like my back and like his hand on my neck, like I felt like, is this it for me?
U.S. citizen seeks $1 million after arrest, detention for recording immigration raid at Home Depot. Witnesses recorded the violent takedown of Garcia, and legal experts say the ICE arrest was clearly unlawful, given that agents trampled on Garcia's First Amendment rights. The Border Patrol and ICE agents unlawfully restrained and detained Mr. Garcia for more than 24 hours without any valid grounds for interfering with his liberty and freedom of movement, and they did so based on legally prohibited grounds. Garcia is a PhD student at Claremont University. He told ABC News the officer seemed surprised when Garcia said, "I'm a U.S. citizen." He says he was first taken to a holding area at Dodger Stadium where he heard the agents boasting about how many people they had grabbed.
How many bodies did you guys get today? and one of them said 31, and they started like, yay, like it was a good day today, and they were like high-fiving each other.
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular was from yours truly, who wrote, "To all the ICE agents, when this is all over, you'll be held accountable too. Don't give me that I was just following orders BS either." Indeed. I look forward to reading your comments about Elon Musk alleging the Trump administration is engaged in a Jeffrey Epstein cover-up to protect Donald Trump. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.